Let me first demonstrate what you can learn from this tutorial. This might look very complicated for you in the beginning, but let us break it into 5 smaller parts called shapes or the caged shapes. CAGED, caged shapes in the fretboard of the guitar. I am not going to explain too much theory behind it, but it is related to the shape of the chords in these first 4 or 5 frets, but you might not have learned any chords or all the chords yet. So let us not worry about why it's called the caged shape. What I have played here actually is the E minor pentatonic scale. Pentatonic means there are 5 notes in a scale and the 6th note is the root note again. So let me play the E minor pentatonic scale in the first string and show you what the notes are. So if I quickly play it, it is. Let me repeat the notes. It is E, G, A, B, D and back to E. So if I start playing the same notes from the 4th string, let us see how it looks like. Now let me map all those 5 notes to the first 3 frets and then again and one more G. So if we play it together, it's. So this is called the G shape, the first shape that we are going to learn. Let me explain the notes. On the 6th string, you start with open E and then using the 3rd finger G and then move to the next string, that's the 5th string, play open A and with your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret play B and then move to the next string, that's 4th string, play D open and then with your 2nd finger play E on 2nd fret, then move to the 3rd string, play open G, use your 2nd finger and play it on the 2nd fret, the note A, then move to the 2nd string, play open B, then use your 3rd finger to play it on the 3rd fret, note D, and then the last string, that's the first E string, play open E and using your 3rd finger, play G on the 3rd fret. So let me repeat the finger positions again. Open, then 3rd, that's on the 6th string, and then on the 5th string, open, then 2nd fret, then on the 4th string, open, 2nd fret, then on the 3rd string, open, then 2nd fret, then on the 2nd string, open, then 3rd fret, then the 1st string, open, 3rd fret. So let me repeat it again. Starting with the 6th string, open, 3rd fret, next string, open, 2nd fret, 4th string, open, 2nd fret, next string, 3rd string, open, 2nd fret, 2nd string, open, 3rd fret, next one, the last one, open, 3rd fret. So that is. Now you can start practicing this shape, that is a G shape. Start it slowly, gradually increase the speed and make it perfect. You can start from the bass note and go to the high pitch note and then come back like this. Now let us learn the next shape, which is the E shape. For that, our fingers are lined up on the fretboard like this. The first finger on the second fret, the second finger on the third fret, third finger on the fourth fret, and then fourth finger on the fifth fret. So this dot, this place mark here denotes the fifth fret, and this is the third fret. So let me quickly play the E shape for you. We are actually playing the same notes that we have played on the first shape. We are still playing the E minor pentatonic scale. So have a look at this. Now let me explain the notes and positions. So start with your second finger on the sixth string on third fret, then your fourth finger on fifth fret on the same string. Move to the next string, the fifth string, with your first finger on second fret, and then fourth finger on fifth fret. Move to the next string, that's the fourth string, first finger on the second fret, and then fourth finger on the fifth fret. Move to the next string, that is third string, first finger on second fret, now third finger on fourth fret. Move to the second string, second finger on the third fret, and then fourth finger on the fifth fret. Move to the next string again, same way, second finger on the third fret, and fourth finger on the fifth fret. So let me quickly repeat the fingers. Second finger, fourth finger, next string, first finger, fourth finger, next string, first finger, fourth finger, third string, first finger, third finger, second string, second finger, fourth finger, first string, second finger, fourth finger. So that is So now you have learned two shapes. So that is the G shape in the beginning and then the E shape. If you are now confident with both the shapes that you have already learned, that is the G shape and the E shape, let us move on to the next shape, which is called the D shape. This is a bit complicated than the previous one because you will have to slide your finger when you reach the second string. So let me quickly play it for you. You would have noticed how my fingers moved after the third string. So let me break it down into the notes and fingers. So here your fourth finger lines up against this dot, that is the 7th fret, and your first finger on the 4th fret, so 4th to 7th, but we need to slide it to the next position in between. So start with your second finger on 5th fret and then 4th finger on 7th fret, that is a 6th string. Move on to the next string, it's the same pattern. Second finger on 5th, 4th finger on 7th. Same pattern on the 4th string also. Second finger on 5th and 4th finger on 7th fret. Now the next string, use your first finger on the 4th fret, that's the 3rd string, and your 4th finger on the 7th fret. Now here comes the difference. When you move to the second string, use your first finger on the 5th fret, not on the 4th but on the 5th fret, and then use your 4th finger on the 8th fret, and the last string, that is the E string, use your first finger on the 5th fret again, and then your 3rd finger on the 7th fret. So let me repeat it again. That is second and fourth finger on 5th and 7th fret. Same pattern on the 5th string, same pattern in the 4th string also. On the 3rd string it is a 4th fret and 7th fret with your 1st and 4th finger. Slide your hands up a bit towards the bridge side, 1 fret, so that your 1st finger reaches the 5th fret and the 4th finger reaches on the 8th fret. The last string, use your 1st finger and the 3rd finger on the 5th and 7th fret. So that is the D shape, where you have to slide your hands when you go up and down through the fretboard like this. So let me play it a bit fast for you. You can notice how my hand slide up on the fretboard and move back on the fretboard. So now you have learned 3 shapes: the G shape, E shape and the D shape. Now let us move on to the 4th shape that we are going to learn. This is called the C shape. Our fingers are lined up like this. So this dot or this place mark here is the 7th fret. Put your 1st finger on the 7th fret, so the 2nd finger comes on 8th fret, 3rd finger on the 9th fret, so the 9th fret is this. Another place mark here, you can see it, and then your 4th finger on the 10th fret, so like this. Now let me play the scale quickly for you. Let us break it into fingers and positions. So this is the 7th fret and this is the 10th fret. So on the 6th string, use your 1st finger on the 7th and 4th finger on 10th fret. Move on to the next string, same pattern. 1st finger on 7th, 4th finger on 10th. The next string, use your 1st finger on 7th and your 3rd finger on 9th. Move on to the next string, 1st finger on 7th and 3rd finger on 9th. Now the 2nd string is a bit different. Use your 2nd finger on 8th fret and 4th finger on the 10th fret. And the last string should have the same pattern as the 6th string. So it is 1st finger on the 7th fret and 4th finger on the 10th fret. So let me repeat it quickly. 1st finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger, again 1st finger, 3rd finger, and then 2nd finger, 4th finger, then 1st finger and 4th finger. Let me play it in the ascending and the descending order for you once again. So that is the C shape. Practice this also the same way you practiced the other 3 shapes: the G shape, the E shape, the D shape, and now the C shape. Now let us take a look at the last shape arrangement, which is the A shape. Why this is the last one is because we have reached the 12th fret. So we can repeat the same patterns from the 12th fret onwards as we did from the 0th fret. So there are basically 5 shapes. We are learning the 5th one, and then the first one repeats here. So the first shape, G shape, will repeat here, and then the A shape will repeat here. So let us see what is the A shape. Now let us break it into frets and finger positions. So you can see that for the last shape, our fingers are lined up like this. Your fourth finger on the 12th fret, that's the 12th fret, is one octave higher from the open notes, and you will see two dots here. That is the 12th fret. So if you play an E note open, and if you hold on the 12th fret, it's also E note. So line your fourth finger against the 12th fret. That makes your first finger line up against the 9th fret. 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the pattern is like this. We start with the second finger on the 10th fret on 6th string and your fourth finger on the 12th fret. Move on to the 5th string, same pattern, second finger on the 10th fret and fourth finger on 12th fret. Now when we move on to the 4th string, first finger on the 9th fret and fourth finger on the 12th fret. Move on to the next string, that is the 3rd string, same pattern as the 4th. Use your first finger on the 9th fret and fourth finger on the 12th fret. Now on the 2nd string, use your second finger on the 10th fret and fourth finger on the 12th fret. Same pattern on the E string also. Second finger on the 10th fret and fourth finger on the 12th fret. So you can see that the 6th string and the 5th string and then the 2nd string and the 1st string got the same pattern using your second finger and the fourth finger. The only difference is the 4th string and the 3rd string, where you use the first finger and the fourth finger like this. So the scale is now you have learned all the 5 basic shapes. You can apply the same shape to the rest of the fretboard up towards the bridge position. But you might not have a cutaway guitar, or your acoustic guitar might not allow your hands to move further, or it will be too difficult for you to reach the other frets beyond the 12th fret. But if you got a cutaway shaped guitar like this, you can try. So the first position what we have learned was G. So apply the same thing here, but now you have to use your finger instead of the nut. So it should be aligned up like this and apply like this. That is the G shape again. Now move forward 2 more frets and you will reach the E shape, whatever you have played here. So here it's the same pattern. So let me play it for you. Move 2 more frets, or you start with this dot here, that is equivalent to the 5th fret here. You can play the D shape like this. So now you can see that the shape repeats towards the bridge. So if we rearrange it in a different way, start with C position, you can see that the shapes are ordered. C comes first, A, then G, then E and D. So that's why it's called the CAGED shape. You will find lot many lessons online about how you can apply the CAGED system. Let me quickly show you a sample of how you can make use of it to move your fingers across different positions. So if you look at the first position that we learned, that is the G position, it was like this. And the second one was here, that is the E position. Now If I do a mix and match of the two shapes, it could look like this. So you would have noticed that I started with the G shape but then moved to the E shape in between. Same way, you can actually mix the next two shapes. So let me show you a sample. You would have noticed that I moved across three shapes. So if you are confident enough, you can start mixing the shapes on any string. You can use the back finger or the forward finger to slide on a string to the next position and play the notes on that position, come back to the old position or move up to another position. But you should not try everything together. First try two positions together and then try another two positions, then the next two positions. Get it in your muscle memory so that you don't have to think what you're doing. All the best. Hopefully this will keep you busy through the lockdown period.